popular. I know this movie is gonna be popular. It's gonna be a big hit because everyone loves Wicked, and even the movie itself got a high rating because it's popular. I know what popular is, and Wicked should be one of those definitions of popular. La 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 la. Hey guys, this is Frozen Wish Stews here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today, I'm going to be doing a review on Wicked, Part 1, or simply just called Wicked. So, Wicked is an adaptation of the Broadway musical, the beloved Broadway musical. And is the part 1 of a two-parter, with a part 2 releasing in next year, November 2025, and is directed by John M. Chu, the same director as the musical masterpiece of In the Heights and other films like Crazy Rich Asians, Now You See Me Too, G.I. Joe Retaliation, two of the Step Up movies, and that shitty Justin Bieber movie that we don't speak of. And it stars Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, Jonathan Bailey, Michelle Yeoh, Jeff Goldblum, Ethan Slater, Marisa Bode, Bowen Yang, Brown and James, Kiela Settle, Peter Dinklage, etc. And so the film tells the story of Elphaba, a defiant girl born with green skin, and Glinda, a privileged aristocrat born popular, become extremely unlikely friends in the University of Shiz that takes place inside the land of Oz. As the two girls struggle with their opposing personalities, their friendship is tested as both begin to fulfill their destinies as Glinda the Good and the Wicked Witch of the West. So, throughout the film, Elphaba dreams of meeting the Wizard of Oz, like the wizard in like his palace. And so she must master her sorcery in order to do that, and she is like gifted with it. And pretty much it becomes Elphaba's like friend there. And so yeah, Elphaba like takes Glinda on with her to meet the Oz, but in that moment where they meet Oz, Elphaba like becomes the Wicked Witch of the West we all know and love, because she views Oz as an evil person, even though he's not. I'll talk more about that later. But yeah, that's the plot for it. So yeah, guys, I can't believe I finally have seen Wicked. It always feels like a dream come true. So yeah, in context, I the Wizard of Oz was a huge part of my childhood. Not just the original movie, but pretty much any Oz related content. Yeah, like any thing that has Oz on the title, I would instantly go see, because so why wouldn't I? And I remember back in 2014, the Wizard of Oz had the stage show. The Wizard of Oz came to my country in the theater where I watched Hamilton and a few other shows, The Lion King as well. And so yeah, my parents and my aunts and uncles and all the adults in my family were all planning to see the Wicked stage show, but I asked my mom if I could watch it because I was interested in Wicked, since it's Wizard of Oz. But then my parents, at first, they said no, because they said that, oh, it's not for you, you're not gonna like it. It's not for kids. Yeah, I was just 10 years old at that time, and yeah, and even my parents already said that even as a 10-year-old, I was still too young to watch Wicked, and said it's for adults. But yeah, eventually my mom changed her mind and let me go to watch that stage play, and yeah, I absolutely loved it. It certainly is one of the greatest Broadway musical ever made. Right up there with The Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, and Hamilton. Maybe better than Hamilton, honestly. Actually, I would say that Wicked is probably my second favorite Broadway musical ever made. Second only behind only behind the Lion King, or maybe number one, but I'll have to think about it. And so yes, of course, I was excited when the moment they announced that Wicked was getting a movie adaptation. But at first, I wasn't super excited about it. I wasn't really super stoked about it when they announced the cast for it. That was gonna star Ariana Grande as Glinda and Cynthia Erivo as Elphaba. Yeah, I was like, okay, that's decent casting choice, but I think I could do better. Oh wait, I remember liking Ariana Grande as Glinda, but yeah, I was a little bit doubtful about Cynthia Erivo as Glinda. I was worried about it, but that's mainly because of her performance in that Pinocchio remake. I was hoping that they would do the Wicked Witch justice. However, that trailer earlier this year at the Super Bowl did convince me otherwise. Like it did make me a bit more excited for it. But it's not the but it is that 3 minutes and near 4 minutes trailer that truly got me hyped, truly got me on board for Wicked, and it became one of my most anticipated movies for the rest of November. Let alone my most anticipated movie of the month, tied with Moana 2. And so yeah, I was hyped for it, and it's kind of a shame that people were boycotting this movie for absolutely no reason. Yeah, sure. You got that poster controversy like a month ago where Cynthia Erivo spoke out to like in rage about a fan editing the poster to look like a Broadway musical. Cynthia Erivo did call it offensive. And yes, while while her outraging about a fan made poster was a bit stupid, that should determine your thoughts of the movie. Like your like a controversy should not ruin your enjoyment of a movie. Yeah, I'm sick of that. Some people hated the Acolyte just because people behind the scenes on interviews would say something that fans would not agree with. And let's not forget about that Snow White hate, where people are hating on it just because of Rachel Zegler's comment on the original Snow White, which I think is stupid. And yes, guys, I'm defending Snow White. I think Snow White looks solid. I think it could be one of the better live action remakes, and I don't care about what anyone else says. Yeah, and I even even like in that the Super Bowl teaser that they put out, yeah, people were furious about Glinda Elphaba's green design. They all say, "Oh, it looks as bad as She-Hulk." They were comparing that CGI to She-Hulk. Oh, and by the way, guys, that's not CGI. That's clearly makeup. You can tell they did not CGI Elpha, but yeah. I think people who say that who compare that quote unquote CGI to She-Hulk CGI, I'm sorry, you guys are being delusional. And I was so sick and tired of all this BS musical hate. I was like telling people, no, people stop doubting Wicked. It's going to be amazing, trust me. And then the reviews came out, yeah, and then the reviews dropped, and the reviews are absolutely glowing and absolutely positive, up to the point where they go as far as saying that Wicked is best picture worthy. And yeah, I was beyond overjoyed to hear that the Wicked has an extremely positive reviews. Especially coming from someone who anticipated this. Yeah, see, I told you guys that Wicked was going to be amazing. No one listened to me, but I told you so. And after seeing Wicked yesterday, which by the way, one of the best theatrical experiences of the year. I saw it on a freaking Wednesday afternoon, and I mean like during work hours. And there's already a lot of people watching this. Of course, there's no kids because all kids were at school. Well, for me, yes, I did have school on that same day, but it was just half day, so I walked to the nearby cinema and saw it. But yeah, there was actually a couple who are devoted Wicked fans. They wore Wicked costume outfits like even like the girlfriend in a couple like wore a witch's hat inside the cinema. How cool is that? And that couple, they were glazing all the way through. They may have been loud, but I actually did not mind because they were just glazing on how good the movie is. Up to the point where they cheered, they clapped at every major song, and I heard them crying at a certain scene, and but as for my thoughts myself, I gotta say, Wicked, it was fucking perfect. I absolutely adored this movie, and I'm gonna go as far as saying this is the best Wizard of Oz movie ever. This is now officially my favorite Wizard of Oz movie. But then again, I've always found Wicked to be a lot more interesting than the Wizard of Oz. Now, yes, I praised the Wizard of Oz if you saw my review for it, but I was just like more into Wicked than Wizard of Oz, so I don't think it came as a surprise that I ended up loving this one more than the Wizard of Oz and calling it the best one. Yes, but although when it comes to my best movies of 2024 list, well, to be honest, guys, I decided to put this a little bit lower in my ranking, in my 2024 rankings. Why? Because I want to keep a bit to like keep this a bit reserved. I want to play it safe a bit. I don't want to be too quick to always put movies so high up and immediately put them in my favorite movies of all time list. Well, yeah, but that's actually already gonna be one of my New Year's resolutions for 2025. Because this year I'll admit that there have been a lot of movies that were so good I can't help but put them high. But then there are those movies that I was high for, and I was so high on them just because they lived up to the hype. So yeah, I'm going to have to rethink about my best movies of the year list. In the case of Wicked, yeah, I'm going to have to I mean, I am actually planning to put Wicked up a lot higher on my 2024 ranking list. Like, it could even be my top. I'm planning to put this in my top 5, but I think I need to rewatch this first to justify that. No, but don't worry, it's definitely my top 10, and I want this to be in my top 5. And also, yes, I am seeing this movie again on Saturday. I'm seeing it with my whole family. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, the only reason I saw this movie yesterday is because one, I knew this movie was gonna be worth watching twice, and two, I just wanted to review to give my thoughts early before others do. But yeah, like, let me just ask this question: how was this made by Universal and not Disney? No offense to Universal, as they've had a great year this year with films like The Wild Robot and The Fall Guy, but this movie felt more like a Disney movie. This is one of the most magical movies I've seen all year, and it is one of, if not the most faithful Broadway adaptation I have ever seen. Every single detail from the show, even the smaller like bits and pieces of details, like, they are all present in this with nothing that felt lacking nor nothing they changed. This I love every single millisecond of this just absolute faithful Broadway adaptation. It's a two-parter with this one having a runtime of 2 hours and 40 minutes, and it was like that for a very good reason. For a very good reason. Because they really wanted to capture every single detail. And Broadway musicals, they don't usually have the same scale as the movie. So if they like cram this whole like wicked big massive wicked story into one part, with like having both part one and part two to get mashed all together, then it would feel rushed. Even if you make the runtime 3 hours, it would still feel rushed. So I think giving this two-parter is a good thing. People who complain about this being only part one of a two-parter, I mean, watch the movie first, and then you understand why it's a two-parter. And as for like my thoughts on how I feel about this movie being lengthy, honestly, guys, it flew by. It flew by. Yeah, yeah, like I said, it felt so quick. Like, oh my goodness, a 2 hour and 40 minute. It's insane that a movie with this runtime actually manages to be so fast paced. Yeah, the pacing of this film is so like fast, fueled with the adrenaline rush. That you might think that like in the popular scene, that song number, I thought that we were only 45 minutes in. However, during that scene, I checked my watch, and guess what? That scene showed up nearly 90 minutes into the film. I kid you not. That's how fast this movie was moving. I was like surprised to see it. And yeah, but yeah, this movie really takes its time to develop this friendship. As I think their friendship started like 45 minutes into the film. Like assuming because I mean, if popular like happened like almost 90 minutes into the film, then I think 45 minutes in was when like Glinda and Elphaba started their friendship, or maybe even an hour in. Believe it or not, yeah, yeah, that just shows you how well detailed it is, and they and even the opening scene, which I'm sure if you guys know the Broadway musical, you know that it opened with Glinda with Glinda telling people about the story. Like it was just Glinda, and then everyone celebrating the Elphaba being dead, the Wicked Witch, and then they were asking, is it true that you were friends with Elphaba? Yeah, they took their time with that opening, and they really took their time to develop the Glinda and Elphaba's friendship. It's not like, oh, they have to rush it and get there. No, yeah, it truly takes its time because at the start when they arrived, they were just like they couldn't really get into each other, and yeah, they both were like arguing about spaces in their room. Yeah, that just shows how much time they were taking to develop their friendship, and in the scene where they finally fully evolved and friendship, yeah, that scene was emotional. Yeah, I actually did tear up at that scene. By the way, that was the only emotional scene in the film to me. Maybe might be another scene that you'd cry in, but yeah, but that couple I mentioned early on in the video in the review, yeah, they actually were sobbing at the end because of how good this was. But to me, the only scene I cried in was yeah. You remember in the trailer, the party scene where we see Elphaba and Glinda like hugging each other as friends. Yeah, that scene alone, damn, was it emotional. Yeah, yeah. I think many of you will cry at that scene, but expect that to be the only emotional scene. Who knows? Maybe part two will have more emotional scenes. Oh, and yeah, speaking of which, I expect part two to have a shorter runtime than this because it is part two is usually shorter. Yeah, I predict 2 hours and 20 or 30 minutes, something like that. Yeah, because yeah, like I said, it is shorter. But I think Wicked Part Two could be even better because. Okay, well, I'll talk more about this. I'll talk more about Wicked Part Two at the end of this review. But yeah, moving on. The visual effects. Oh man. Oh, I hope this movie gets nominated for best visual effects because, I mean the visual effects with the way they use like the Elphaba's magic and the and all that stuff. Yeah, it is amazing and yeah. And the production design. Oh my goodness. And you know what, guys? I'm gonna spoil this to you right now. This is so gonna win Best Production Design in my Frozen Awards 2025. And yes, this did win in a few technical categories, but I won't say which ones. But yeah, but oh man, yeah, gorgeous production design, amazing cinematography, and this movie uses practical effects. Yeah, I mentioned earlier that your Elphaba's green skin was actually all practical. It was makeup. It wasn't CGI, and I applaud the filmmakers for going with that decision. Oh, and also the costume as well. Do I need to say how good the costumes were? But one of the strongest aspects of this film to me would have to be the performances. Oh man, especially from the two leads, Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. Yeah, Cynthia Erivo is Cynthia Erivo. Yeah, I said earlier that I was skeptical about this casting choice, but I'm glad I was wrong because yeah, Cynthia Erivo was absolutely perfect. Sure, I will say that she's not as good as Idina Menzel's like take on Glinda. But yeah, Cynthia Erivo gives her absolute best performance in her career, no competition whatsoever. But it's Ariana Grande who truly steals the show as Glinda. This is the best interpretation of Glinda by far. Yeah, and Glinda is my favorite. Yeah, Glinda is like Ariana Grande's Glinda is my favorite character in all of Wizard of Oz in any Oz movie period. This movie truly did both of them justice, especially Glinda. Like they were able to capture her wacky and zany and funny personality that the Broadway Glinda had. And yeah, and the humor, oh man, what a humor. Even if it's not meant to be a comedy, any attempts at comedy in this film, they freaking nailed the comedy department. It's actually funny. And there were some scenes where I genuinely laughed hard, especially when it comes to her like trying to tell Fiyero that she has a crush on him. Though, like the way that she awkwardly tries to pose at Fiyero. Oh man. Oh, and speaking of Fiyero, yeah, he's the best male character of the film. Yeah, and his song is actually like right up there. Oh, I'll get to the songs later. But actually, before I get to the songs, I just want to say the Oscars are seriously doing Ariana Grande dirty by putting her in the supporting actress category. Yeah, like in for awards consideration. Yes, this movie is kind of about Glinda, but sorry, it's about Elphaba. It's her story of how she turned into the Wicked Witch. But Glinda's also a main character too. I mean, why can't the Oscars have both Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande in the consideration for Best Leading Actress and maybe Michelle Yeoh in Best Supporting Actress or something? Oh, and the songs as well. Oh man. Okay, well I'll just say right now, don't expect any of the songs to get to have like a nomination for either an Oscar or a Frozen Awards for Best Original Song, because usually when Broadway adaptations when it comes to Broadway adaptations, sometimes they would include a new song that can get itself to be nominated for Best Original Song at the Oscars. But this film, I mean, they only use the songs, the Wicked songs we all know and love. Like, there's nothing new, so yeah. But that doesn't change the fact that all the songs in this one are absolutely amazing. I'll probably rank all the Wicked songs on my Instagram, but I'll have to think about it. But what I can definitely say is that my top two favorite songs are number one, Defying Gravity, and number two, Popular. Not only are they the best songs in Wicked Part 1, but all of Wicked in general, including Part 2 songs. So yeah, and now let's talk about the writing. And yes, guys, I absolutely love the writing. Like, I've always found the story to be more interesting than the story about Dorothy's journey to meet the Wizard of Oz in Wizard of Oz. Yeah, it's a lot darker. It's more complex. It's more layered, and sure, yes. The on the surface, it may seem like a very simplistic friendship turned enemy story, but there's actually more to that. When you dive deep into it, this is essentially a character study of Elphaba's transformation into the Wicked Witch, and this is one of the best villain origin stories ever told. The story makes a bold move to audiences side with Elphaba against Oz. Yeah, this movie made Oz the antagonist of the film. Well, you already saw in the trailer that they did depict Oz as a villain. Although, yes, we all know that Oz is not an evil person. He's just, someone who wants recognition. And he is a fraud for trying to fake, his wizardry and reveal that he's just a regular, boring-ass man. But the fact that they this movie makes Oz a main antagonist have us side with Elphaba, to acknowledge the fact that this is Elphaba's story and not Oz. That is genius right there. I should say. But of course, the movie still acknowledges, like at the end, that Elphaba is still like a wicked witch, that she's still evil. Yeah, so yeah, there's that. Yeah, and this movie also tackles themes of animal cruelty, because the whole reason why Elphaba hates Oz is because of the fact that, she Elphaba felt very concerned about the animals, and all the animal cruelty that they're showing. But yeah, how to say this? Yeah, the animal cruelty that they're showing. Because of how they're being cruel to Mr. Dilamon, the gold professor, and also the lion cub that they cage in one of the classes. And we even see like a Mr. Dilamon have a song about how people are treating animals, and how like, they're shitting on animals like that. But Elphaba has a soft spot for animals more than anyone else. So yeah, that's actually how she turned evil, because Oz is trying to destroy something that she truly cares about, even though no one else does. And yeah, that is just clever. Oh, and also I should also mention as well the sisterhood relationship between Elphaba and Nessarose. Yeah, I feel bad that Nessarose like hate and Elphaba's family hates her. But although I don't think Nessarose hates Elphaba, I think they both have a decent sisterhood relationship. Like, Elphaba is actually a really good sister to Nessarose. Even young Elphaba in the beginning, we can already see that she truly cares about Nessarose, and she does everything it takes to protect her, and yeah, there's that. And yeah, the film ends exactly the way fans of the Broadway show predict it'll end, with defying gravity. Oh, but how they did that ending, let me tell you right now, it is so exciting, it's so epic, and it gave me chills. And yeah, in fact, the whole movie was like that. It's so grand in scale and scope. Yeah, John and True really went all out on this one. Oh, but yeah, let's end this off with my favorite scene in the film. And my personal favorite scene in the film has to be, basically the scene in the third act when Glinda and Elphaba enter the palace of Oz. Yeah, but holy shit, guys! Oh my god, there was a cameo in the film. And what cameo is it? Okay, well, I'm not gonna spoil you the cameo, but yeah, you guys are not ready for that cameo, especially Wicked, that Broadway show fans. Like, and even as a fan of this certain person myself, even like I won't say where she's from, but I would just say, holy shit, guys, I fucking geeked out at it. And even like the Wicked fan who who were sitting behind me, I like when I saw like that cameo, I looked at them and holy shit, they were actually screaming, cheering, crying, like as if you're watching Deadpool Wolverine. And yes, guys, this cameo is as good as like glorious as the Deadpool Wolverine cameos. I am not exaggerating on that. Yeah, when you watch the movie for yourself, keep a look at that cameo. You're gonna love it. So yeah. So overall, Wicked is just phenomenal, and it might get better later on. Right now, I want to play it a bit safe with how I rank this in comparison to other movies. But yeah, this movie is for everyone. Wicked fans are not. For Wicked fans, this movie is a love letter and a dream come true, as they're watching a masterful and perfectly faithful adaptation of the show. And for people who had low expectations on this film, I hope you'll be surprised by this, because I think you will be surprised. Yeah, and Even if you have low expectations, still get see this movie, give it a chance, and I think you might like it. Yeah, this movie deserves to be popular. I think this movie could make 1 billion at the box office. The fact that there were a lot of people in my screening, usually during a time where nobody would go out to see a movie, that says something. Yeah, it has a chance. You'll never know. But you may be wondering, is this the best Jayam Chu movie? Right now, honestly, I would give the slight edge to In the Heights, but maybe on rewatch this could be thrown In the Heights. Yeah, I'm playing it safe first because I don't want to like just go overboard with my praise for it. But if this movie manages to get better the more on second viewing, then yeah, it's gonna be something. So like I said, guys, I'm going to give Wicked 5 stars out of 5. Perfect movie. Yeah, this is without question one of the best movies of the year so far. And it is the best Wizard of Oz movie. That's one thing I am very sure about. So also for my review of Wicked, what are your thoughts on the film? Would you agree with me that Wicked? Would you agree with me that wait, I don't think anyone else has seen the film yet. But if did you see Wicked as early as I did? And if you did, yeah, did you love this film as much as I did? Would you agree it's the best Wizard of Oz movie or not? Or if you haven't seen the film yet, did my review get you to be more hyped for the film? Or do you not trust my opinion? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for more videos to come. I may do a ranking of all Wizard of Oz movies if I have time. I mean, I do have videos planned for next week, but not for the rest of the week. And yeah, don't expect videos to be done anytime soon because I'm gonna be busy. But I am working on a meme video that you guys are gonna like. So yeah, bye guys.